In Congress, he helped write and pass Obamacare. As Attorney General, he sued Trump over 120 times and won. As Secretary of Health, Becerra took on special interests and lowered drug costs. Endorsed by Planned Parenthood and nurses, he's the fighter we need and the leader we can trust.
Are we ready to fight?
When we fight...
Now at 7 a.m. on Today in LA Weekend, a final push for voters and candidates for California governor and LA mayor. We're counting down to Tuesday's primary election. We are live with the latest poll and how you can cast your vote now.
Mexico, 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 Mexico.
Excitement building for the World Cup after Mexico's national team takedown of Australia at the Rose Bowl. And this is just a preview of what's to come.
You're watching NBC4. Here's what's happening today in LA.
Good morning on this last day of May, Sunday, May 31st, as we take a live look over Universal City. Nothing but blue skies, and we thank you for waking up with us. I'm Michelle Vias. It's a nice and cool morning before the sun really hits, and this is just the start of the big warm-up that's headed our way. Here's meteorologist Kelly Moody.
Let's start you off with a look at your daytime highs for today. Of course, a little bit cooler at the coast. 70s expected from Oxnard through Long Beach, down even to Irvine in the upper 70s. But you go a little bit farther inland and suddenly you're hitting those 80s, getting up to the mid to upper 80s for spots like West Covina, Riverside, San Bernardino at 89 degrees, low 90s expected for Santa Clarita. And I expect we could see more of those spots in the low 90s in the days to come. Even as we look beyond this brief warm-up that we've got, 8 to 14 days out, much of the country, and of course right here in Southern California, we look to stay above normal, according to data that we get from the Climate Prediction Center. So the heat is coming our way. You better be ready for it. It's sticking around. Thankfully, we do have some winds that help cool us off during the afternoon hours. So much wind that we even have just a little sliver of a wind advisory up toward the I-5 corridor, staying in place with us until 9 a.m. to account for winds between 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Look, this is just a reminder that we are going to continue to see some of those gusty conditions during the afternoon and evening hours for areas of higher elevation stretching through the high desert. But again, a lot of that is some cooler coastal air that's going to help us cool off, and we certainly will need it. Coming up in your complete first alert forecast, we'll be talking more about the long-term warming that goes beyond just this peak heat of Sunday and Monday. You won't want to miss that. Get a look at some of those temperatures coming up.
We have some breaking news out of Watts this morning. One person is dead and another in the hospital after a shooting. It happened just after 2 in the morning along 104th and Wilmington Avenue. The LAPD says a large crowd was gathered for a candlelight vigil when shots were fired. The 2 victims were taken to the hospital. One died at the hospital. The other is now in stable condition. The LAPD is working to identify a suspect. It is the final countdown to the primary elections this Tuesday. The gubernatorial race is starting to narrow with a new poll showing the front-runners. NBC4's Annette Arriola outside a vote center in Pasadena. Annette, good morning. We've seen 3 polls in as many days. Who's leading the latest one this morning?
Michelle, right now there are 3 front runners. 2 of them are Democrats. According to the latest Emerson College poll, it is Javier Becerra that is leading the field right now with 28%, followed by Tom Steyer with 22%, and coming in third, Steve Hilton at 21%. Now trailing with 12% is Chad Bianco, and in single digits right now is Porter at 5%. Now, experts say this poll shows that voters are making up their minds on the final days of the campaign. Take a listen.
What has clearly happened is undecided voters, mostly Democrats and independents, have started coalescing around Javier Becerra and Steyer, and very few Republican undecideds. That's why they led the field, because Democrats, there were so many undecideds.
And this, by the way, is the last weekend for early voting. Several polling places have been up and running since May 23rd. People have the option of voting in person, dropping off their ballot, voting by mail, or turning it into a safe ballot drop box. Now, if you haven't voted just yet, but would like to do so prior to Election Day, which is Tuesday, June 2nd, you can log on to the lavote.gov website, type in your address, and you'll get an entire list of early voting centers near you, most of them opening at 10 a.m., going all the way through 7 p.m. That's the very latest. Reporting live this morning from Pasadena, I'm Annette Arriola for Today in LA. Michelle, will send it back to you.
Annette, thank you so much. Now to the race for LA mayor. The top candidates are all choosing different ways to make their final pitch to voters. Incumbent Mayor Karen Bass and Democratic City Council member Nithya Raman were here at home. Spencer Pratt was in New York, making an appearance on Fox News.
Newsom and Karen Bass make up stats. Those are not real numbers. Anybody with eyeballs in the state of California or Los Angeles knows that there has not been a reduction in one homeless person.
Meanwhile, Mayor Bass held campaign events in Westlake, Van Nuys, and then Eagle Rock. Raman started her day speaking with voters downtown and made other stops along Sunset Boulevard last night. Both candidates were focused on housing and homelessness.
But there are more than 120 fewer encampments on our street now than were there 3 years ago.
I think one of the most important issues facing Los Angeles right now is how expensive it is to live here. The cost of housing is enormous. And I have a lot of plans for how we can address that.
The latest UC Berkeley LA Times poll shows a very tight race with Mayor Bass at 26%, Nithya Raman with 25%, Spencer Pratt in third with 22%. Even if you aren't registered to vote, there are same-day registration centers across the state. And our website has your complete voting guide, from breaking down the candidates or those propositions and the early voting events near you. For all of that, go to NBCLA.com and the NBCLA app. So much help out there to help you vote. With the World Cup less than 2 weeks away, Mexico's national soccer team is kicking off to a very strong start. The team beat Australia 1-0 at the Rose Bowl last night.
Mexico! Mexico! Mexico!
It was electric. The thousands of fans practiced their tailgating and cheered on their team. Hours before, fans started stocking up on Team Mexico jerseys, hats, and scarves. Mexico fans said, of course, they had high hopes for the game or the match, but they all have their eyes on a bigger prize.
We want them to win this World Cup coming up, you know what I mean? It's going to be exciting, dude.
Especially since we're at home, hoping to take it all the way. It's our dream.
The World Cup begins June 11th, and you can watch the matches live on our sister station, Telemundo 52. Still ahead on Today in LA, weekend changes for CalFresh benefits go into effect tomorrow.